is Carnival Buzz, and we are here with episode number 3. Monak will tell us about what we've seen and what is upcoming for this episode.
Well, so far we've been to the Calypso tents, we've been to the Sugar Mass Awards. For this edition, we are taking a look at some of the mass in St. Kitts. So we spoke to Robertine Webb, who is the Director of Creative Economy. We also spoke to Ashley Allers from Fun Vibes, Corinne Poujard from DFX, and we have some highlights for you from some of the events that took place over the last weekend. And then of course Utopia also launched and Carnival Buzz was there. So stay tuned because we got an exciting show for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Episode 3.
You're watching Carnival Buzz on ZIZ TV. This is the big banana. Take it in your face. Come on down. It's no snow, it's all sun. Come on down.
Welcome back to Carnival Buzz here on ZIZ. You are looking at episode 3, and we're going to take you to the Director of Culture, Robertine Webb, and she's going to tell you all about their plans for Sugar Mass 51.
This is Carnival Buzz. We are here with Robertine Webb, Director of Creative Economy and an executive in the Ministry or Department of Culture.
All right, Robertine, welcome to Carnival Buzz here on ZIZ. Of course, culture plays a very significant role in National Carnival. 51 years on, and you're now charged with the responsibility for certain activities during the National Carnival. So let's start with that. What are the activities that your department would be responsible for this year?
Right, so as you know, we have collaborated, so the Ministry of Creative Economy has collaborated with the National Carnival Committee in numerous events, namely the opening of Carnival, which we are producing, and as I've said before, it's one that is going to be unprecedented and grand. I'm pretty excited for it. Another is in the spirit of Christmas. Continuing, we have the National Folk Galore, which is basically the folklore competitions of masquerades, bull, and other folklore troupes. We are also in charge of hosting the inaugural event, which is the Midnight Escape Street Festival.
Well, let's start there. The Midnight Escape Street Festival, that sounds like a very interesting concept. So tell us some more about that.
For the Midnight Escape Street Festival, this was an idea I saw on TikTok actually, and they have midnight markets in New Jersey, Atlanta, California, and I thought that is something that would be appealing to St. Kitts and Nevis, and also find ways to integrate our culture. So basically our street festival will be more about our traditional culture and of course mixing the evolution with it. So a lot of entertainment, food, artisans, games, trivia, paint and sips and so forth.
And where in Bastia are you planning to host?
Right on the Bay Road, so between the juncture of College Street Gut and the Old Treasury.
Okay, sounds like an interesting affair. How does one get to participate in something like that, whether it's as a vendor, an entertainer, or something of that sort?
So for the vendors, we did have a call for vendors, which over 50 vendors applied to, and so we're pretty excited for that. We already met with the vendors. They too are excited. They love the idea. They love the standard that we're going to bring. In terms of the patrons, anybody can come.
Okay, and so you referenced in the spirit of Christmas. Now we know that because of COVID, that was moved out of Bastia. Word is that it's coming back.
Yes, it's back at the circus.
Good. And so are we going back to the pre-COVID days, or we're looking for uplift?
It's a mix because we have the bittersweet moment where we had to move due to COVID to the Antioch Baptist Church, but no, we are back on the street. However, as you said, yes, it will be enhanced. The stage will be more grand, more bigger, better acts. The participation of national contestants, so it is definitely something to look forward to.
Right. And the opening of Carnival, that's always a special event. And over the last 2 years in the virtual world, I mean, it was taken to a different level. What are we to expect this year with the creativity that you brings to this department?
As I said before, it's unprecedented. It's really grand, more theatrics involved. It's going to be very dramatic, and again, that's probably between Midnight Escape, the Street Festival, and the opening of Carnival. Those will be my top events for Carnival.
And Carnival in St. Kitts never could exist or be what it is without folklore.
Right.
And your department handles that aspect of the carnival. So tell us something about, what you're expecting this year.
A unique initiative that we brought on is the mixed folk competition. So once ago you used to have the masquerades and the bull competition. We still have that. However, we have the cowboys and Indians, actors, clowns, and there weren't any competitions for them. And so because of the popularity and how many active groups there are, and so we wanted to find like a combined event for everybody else, and so that's why we came up with 3 competitions in one, called the National Folk Galore, has the masquerade competition, the bull competition, and the mixed folk competition. And it's also mixed with like the folklore avenue, so we would have a parade prior to the competition beginning.
All right, so overall then, your expectations for Sugar Mass 51, there seems to be heightened excitement, but from your perspective?
For me, because I am, spearheading the production, I have a really creative team. We can't get this done without the team, which you would see more of, but I'm really excited because of the innovation and the creativity being put into the events. We're definitely going bigger and better. So just be prepared, and I hope that, I know everyone will enjoy it.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Carnival Buzz here on ZIZ with Robertine Webb, the Director of Creative Economy and an Executive in the Department of Culture. We'll see you on the other side.
This is Carnival Buzz, and we have up next an awesome interview with Ashley Allers of Fun Vibes. He's going to tell us all about his preparations for Sugar Mass 51.
Everybody in this world got a special place called home. And everybody in this world got a place called home. Whether you're in a foreign in the country, rep your area code. Check the area code, me rep the area code. Anywhere we go, you know me touch the road like this. Touch up the road like this, like this. Touch up the place like this, like this. Touch up the stage like this, like this, like this, like this. Come rep your who you are. The world is a stage, so showcase like a star. We little but we begin that we come from far. So we take it so I can't risk ya. So we roll, yeah, that's how we roll, yeah. And performance anytime we touch the road, yeah, that's how we roll, that's how we roll. When we be busting and we head, like we under respect anywhere that we go. People watching and they asking want to know why the hell we get down so. And I tell them must be the place we run and roll. Got me hyperactive, we hyperactive. We come from taking so sugar in we system. We don't want to practice, that's how we got this. Can't never relax this, we are not in a plastic. Anywhere that we go, people watching and they really want to know why the hell we get down so. It don't matter if the music fast or slow. Oh, go, hi. Oh, go, hi.
This This is Carnival Buzz, and we're here at the Fun Vibes Mass Camp with the big boss himself, Ashley Allers, and he's going to take us through today the preparations for Carnival Sugar Mass 51. So, Mr. Allers, Ashley, which would you prefer for me to call you? Big boss. The big boss. Tell us about your creative process. How did you come up with these costumes, these ideas? What is your process like?
Okay, thank you. And you can call me whatever you want. It's your choice, you know. Basically, for this year, we gave it some thought and look at what has transpired over the past 2 years with the pandemic, the way it impacted people's lives, and so on. So it started about having a new mindset where people need to start thinking different. This is what the pandemic has taught us, and so it is where it began, having a new mindset. And so that is why our theme is break out. We have to break out from all the things that we have done in the past and see things different, do things different to achieve things differently. If you want to get new results, you have to think different.
Right.
And so it's about a new mindset. So break out a new mindset. And after we came up with that theme, then we started looking at what sections, how we would build around it. And so in order to break out, in order to have a new mindset, you must be a visionary. You must be a dreamer. You must be a risk taker. You must be a trendsetter.
Nice.
Yeah?
This is the trendsetter, isn't it?
No, this is risk taker.
I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is where it all started. And then it's about bringing the colors. What do you want to put on the road? What looks good on the road? The type of material. When the sun hits it, it really reflects and gives off what you're looking for. It gives you the wow effect.
Right.
And so that is how it is done.
Nice. I know you've participated in Carnival for over the years, for the past few years. Well, not few years. You've been around for how long? Tell us.
I've been in Carnival since a teenager.
Nice.
Started playing clown.
Nice.
You know, I remember the good old days as a young person dancing clown and dancing to real clown music and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And having to travel as a young little boy, and I can vividly remember someone, Kennedy Byron, my good friend. We would go around the country with all the guys, Zach and Sonnet and all the people, and we had to sit on the truck. And while the guys going to the rum shop and so on, we the little boys had to stay there and wait until they finish. And so we took pride in playing clown. That is what it was, dancing to clown music, enjoying being a clown, not just patrolling all over and put on a clown suit and mask who you are. Or you see it as a cheaper way of playing mask. And then in my early stage, it was a few of us from the convent school back then, now ICCS. We decided to join Janice Reynolds. And from Janice Reynolds, I moved on to Haynes Smith from my village community. From Haynes Smith, I created a new mass band with two partners, Christine Walwyn and Lyndon Berry, and we named ourselves as fun makers. We are fun-loving people, and so that is where it all started. And then at one time, sometimes there was only one band on the road, Fun Vibes, Fun Makers. And because of my love for carnival, being around the world, I played mass in so many different places, and I saw the opportunity for us to really get the carnival to expand and evolve. And so I decided to move away from Fun Makers by myself, just to create a different brand. And so Fun Makers was established with New Vibes. And so that has been the partnership from since 2010 until now. So we are the longest band on the road. And from there, we recognize that there is a need to even have the mass established or evolve even more. And so we created Fun Teens because we recognized they were young persons entering our band who was under the age of 18. We sell alcohol and so on, and we didn't want to have teenagers.
Right.
And so the following year we created Fun Teens, and in the future Fun Makers will come as a more mature band, appealing to a more older crowd, 35, 40 and over, who do not really want too much of costumes, revealing and stuff like that, and a whole different. And eventually I'll end up in Fun Makers.
Nice. Well, that leads us into the question that I was about to ask about your more mature audience, or your more mature revelers rather, who'd want to partake in this year's Carnival Parade Day. What do you have in store for them? What provision have you made for them in terms of costumes?
Quite frankly, for this year, we did not cater for a more mature audience, more mature group. And the reason being, again, it is because of all of the uncertainties from the pandemic. There is still a lot of challenges in the supply chain, and so this year it was much easier to focus on what we have already established, Fun Vibes, and I can guarantee you, all goes well, we'll have something for a more mature audience, a more mature group.
Okay. For clarity, you're saying that there is just your established brand, which is Fun Vibes. There is no Fun Teens this year either.
Fun Teens, we're doing somewhat of incorporation.
Okay.
Again, because of some difficulties, and sometimes I think persons have to learn to appreciate what happens behind the scenes. Putting on a mask, man, it's not as easy as it looks.
Could you tell us about that? Could you give us some behind the scenes info about how that happens? What are the things you have to do in terms of sourcing your fabric, in terms of sourcing your feathers? What's the process like?
Now, once you have established your designs, right, and that takes a little while. It can take a few months if you want to have it done properly, because it's about not just design, but you have to find the right material, right, at the right cost.
Right.
And so it is. I think people need to understand how it really works, because you can see a costume and you like this, and most of our costumes we have, if you see, they're well decorated with stones.
Yes.
A lot of stones,
yes,
a lot of trimmings and stuff like that. And depending, sometimes you want something, it can become very expensive. And so you have to take into consideration not just the design, but the cost of what you want to produce a costume at. And so it is design, first stage, and then sourcing the materials, you know, and in order to get your production costs down so that you can afford or you can sell a more affordable costume.
I understand. Alright, that leads me into my other question. Tell us about your costume packagings and what comes with the package.
Our costume packages is
You can give us a price range.
yeah, in the male section, what we've done is our package for the male starts at it's like $380, and up to $480. And the female it starts from around, I think it's about $750 up to about $1,400 EC dollars. What we have done this year is we have looked at the cost, and we recognize that in order to produce the band, we have to make it affordable for our people. Fun Vibes is really about affordability and allowing the more common man on the street
Right.
to play mass
Right.
at a standard, you know.
Of course.
So we have our niche, we have our market, we have our people that we are targeting, who we want to ensure that they're on the road and they have more people on the road. So our costing reflects that. It's about getting numbers, getting more people involved, let them appreciate and the experience that you get, so that you come back and you partake in Carnival. So seeing this Carnival can be seen of one individual that people want to go to.
Taking it back to Parade Day, I've gotten my costume.
Yes.
What's the process like? Do I come? Is it going to be an event before we take off on the road? Is it going to be a party afterwards? Tell our audience what can we expect?
Well, usually on the first day, we usually have somewhat of a free breakfast, free brunch, sort of try to get our people, you know, on time, well fed for the road.
Right.
However, over the years, we recognize, especially the ladies, they want to spend 2 and 3 hours doing their makeup.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they get there when the parade is about to begin or already started, because there's so many different things that they need to do. The hair, the nails, the ladies want to look hot on the road. And I understand and I appreciate that. And so it is. So once we get our people there, in fact, like this year, we're going to hit the road early. We're going to have a free road fete early, lunch, eat, drink, get ready. We're going to have someone on site for touch-up makeup and whatever.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
And then you hit the road. And then again, like I said to you, sometimes that our mass players sometimes would miss out on some opportunities like food and so, because they came late and so on.
Yeah.
So this year, what we are going to do, we're going to have a designated established area that where we're going to end at.
Okay.
So that our mass players know, hey, after the road, you can go to this place. And as a mass player, you can get food, you can get drinks here still, up to a limited amount of time.
So tell us about what your anticipations are for this year in terms of results on the road.
Fun Vibes is about fun. It's about the road experience. It is about, at the end of Carnival in January, that our mass players, they can say, I had a wonderful time. I enjoyed myself. I get my money worth.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so that is the first for us. In addition to that too, that we've gotten our costumes on time, and we have had challenges in the past, and so we are correcting all of that. But I'll tell you this year, I'm going to say this year, we ain't just coming for a good time and a good experience. We're coming to prove something this year, that we are the big bad fun vibes on the road.
You hear that, guys?
Big bad fun vibes on the road, where we just really enjoy ourselves, and we can mash up the road. There's nobody can mash up the road like fun vibes.
You're watching Carnival Buzz on ZIZ TV.
You're watching Carnival Buzz on ZIZ. We're celebrating Sugar Mass 51. And as part of the celebrations, of course, is our mass here in St. Kitts. I had an interview with Corinne Pujard from DFX. They're returning on their own for the Grand Parade this year. And they're portraying the rebirth. So, take it away, Corinne. And the head of BFX is here with us today. Welcome to Carnival Buzz, Corey.
Thank you.
All right, and so as you can tell, we're at the mass camp. There's lots of stuff going on. But let's back up a little bit and do some history. When did DFX get on the road in St. Kitts?
2014 we were officially branded, so that sugar mass was our first sugar mass. The presentation that year was called "The Sky Is the Limit."
Okay.
I partnered with a designer out of Trinidad who pretty much, got me started with everything.
But that's not where you started. I mean, you've been in Carnival forever.
Yes.
What about that?
Well, playing mass since I was 9, and then school, it was majorettes at what is now ICCS, formerly St. Teresa's Convent. And then I actually started playing mass with Janice Reynolds, Stacey Hobson. I loved going to the mass camp when Gomez was here from Trinidad, just to see the entire process of everything coming to life. And then we joined up with when Ashley and Christine had Funmakers.
Correct.
But every time my friends and I got there, everybody's like, what section y'all in? Because we embellished our costumes so much. We're like, well, ours don't look like that. What happened? But, always the knack for wanting to stand out and to be different.
So as you talk about that, my question is, where did that creativity come from?
I think it's since I was a child, to be very honest. I mean, we had school projects, and one day it was the nativity scene. And the teacher just said, do a nativity scene. Everybody did little drawings and stuff, and I went to school with a box with all the animals upright, almost two-dimensional, and cotton wool on them. And, we had arts and crafts at school.
And and I know, yes, DFX is mass, but you've done a lot more than that when it comes to Carnival. Tell us something about that.
Before DFX was branded, I used to do makeup because at one point I designed for a former mass band, Inferno.
Okay.
And in 2005, their first year out, won Band of the Year. And from then, everybody was like, well, how did your makeup last? And that's where the little makeup thing started. And, I worked with people like, Ma Allen, Makisa Olakwin, a former Miss St. Kitts contestant, Valencia Henry, who is in Taiwan now. She's also a former contestant. I've worked with Culturama, Swimsuit, and Queen pageants as well. So.
All right, sounds very interesting. And so, after a 2-year hiatus, we're back on the road again, and DFX is back in full effect. Tell us something about the mass that you're presenting this year.
Well, for this year, the theme is very personal in terms of the concept of rebirth. I have a thing for the phoenix. I actually have a tattoo on my arm. It's covered now, but it'll be on display on the road on Carnival. And that's where the whole thought process started. It actually started out with this smoke, this fire, but it didn't leave much to be able to build on for sections, and so did some more research on it and came up with rebirth, the image of the phoenix, and thinking of everything that a lot of us have gone through. In 2020, a lot of us, lost our jobs. Some of us were fortunate enough to have our jobs but be working from home. Personally, a lot of things I was going through, so this was my way of expressing myself. So that's where it pretty much came from, the rebirth of Carnival. We recently had elections, so a rebirth for a new administration, new things going forward, So that's really where the theme came from.
Quite and very interesting.
Yes, some people just think you just slap a name on it. But
I know.
It actually does take, some serious thinking. It was literally probably a week and a half. My former apprentice and I, Lincoln Watley, who did some of the designs as well with me, we were back and forth about it. And then, of course, I have a good friend in Nevis who is very good at writing. So tap into all your creative sources to help bring, this project together. So it was not just me. We had a full team.
Yes. No, and it's interesting, as you say. Some people think that, they just put on a bath suit, as some people say, string, skin, bikini, and beads. But there's a story to be told, and you guys are going to be telling it. How has it gone so far, though, in terms of your preparation for Sugar Mass 51?
Preparation, there are hiccups here and there, but we are weathering the storm with the hiccups, working with our freight forwarder to ensure that our shipments get here on time. They've advised me of what to do and what not to do. Getting our stuff out of China has been
a challenge.
Actually, no, surprisingly, it hasn't. No, I have actually one set of the stuff has actually reached my freight forwarder in Miami last week. I had enough lead time in September to be able to order those things, and
that's good.
You know, so a little different for me because usually I'm the one that does a lot of the stuff, and I have a wire bender on staff now. His name is Patrice Matthew. Awesome. He has been behind the scenes so that we are able to actually start wrapping and preparing the pieces so that by the time the feathers get in next month, all we have to do is feather instead of everything happening all at once, you know. I've taken a little bit from the assembly lines in the factories where you do things and you put it aside for when you need it. So that is one of the things that we
But you know, the madness usually creates to the excitement of Carnival,
I know,
right?
and I honestly did not I missed the excitement of the day, you know, with COVID-19 and we were on lockdown. I remember the first New Year's morning, one of my revelers called, so what time you say we're picking up my costume? And I was like, girl, get off my phone, you know? And I had a client to do something for that day, which kind of helped me, pull me out of my little rut because, you know, you're feeling sad, but, you know, the slave labor of it and the sleepless nights. I didn't miss it too much, but I'm weathering that storm.
Good. So how has it been, though, in terms of registration? I know Mass has taken on a new level, or has been taken to a new level in St. Kitts. So. And of course, people think, well, okay, you know, big bands are going to get whatever it is, but DFX has been there. DFX is considered a big band. How has it been in terms of getting the mass players in?
The registrants are coming in. I mean, we cater to everybody. So, and one of the beauty about our mass band is that everything you see in here is, with the exception of maybe the frames for the front line, everything else is made on island.
Wow, that's interesting.
So one of the things we offer is customization. So even though you see some of the, you know, scantily clad costumes, we can cater to someone else who wishes to have this section but wants it. Say they want a high waist panty. They want the wire bra option, but they want more coverage on the panty. You know, this has a very risque back. They don't want that. You know.
I know.
So we are able to cater to that, which is one of the things that I like. And for me, it is also about putting back into the community.
Good.
Because we hire local tailors and seamstresses to do.
Okay, very interesting concept, because I know a lot of, you know, what happens for the mass bands comes in from overseas. So it's good to see that we have local people involved in these mass bands. Now, how do people get in touch with you if they want to play mass with DFX this year?
Okay, well, we have our Facebook page and we are on Instagram. Our Facebook page is DFX, Instagram is DFX_SKB, and you can find all the links in the bio to register. You can message via the pages or call direct at 664-3500. And someone will be there to answer. Also, our mass camp is located in Greenlands. It's on the pasture. There's a house with a very pretty fence. It's the house right below it. So the sign will be up as well shortly. So that's where we're gonna be. This is our home base. It's our showroom. You can come in at any point in time. You would probably meet us working on stuff and that sort of thing.
Okay, and again, the title, the topic, the mass that you're going to play this year, the name of it.
It's Rebirth, and we have 3 sections. This section that we're standing next to is called Renaissance, and there's a red section, that's my baby. That one is called Revival, and our white section is called Salvation.
Wow.
And then for those who may not be able to play on day 1 and just want to come in for day 2 for last lap, we have a day 2 wear called Kaleidoscope.
Okay. So, and I've seen most mass bands are doing that now, where they portray something different on last lap. So it doesn't mean you can't wear your original costume.
You can wear the original if you choose, but if you don't want to, because what I've noticed too is that a lot of persons keep their day 1 because petitions are traveling a lot more overseas.
Yes.
So there's Uber Soca Cruise, Miami Carnival. They may go to Antigua for Carnival and they don't want to wear what they have. They have their day 1 wear that they can wear for, say, Juve morning. And a lot of people have been keeping their stuff. So
I know. I have my costume The last mass I played, I still have my costume in pristine condition. I don't know if that means I didn't do a lot of work on the road.
It just means you had a good time.
There you go.
You know how to take care of your stuff.
All right. So again, we're here at DFX Mass Camp here in Greenlands, and we're playing mass this year. We're on the road, and it's a rebirth. Not only a rebirth of St. Kitts Nevis, but a rebirth of Sugar Mass this year. You're watching Carnival Buzz on ZIZ. Stay with us.
You don't know it's your boy TK the Boss, all the way from St. Lucian. Right now I'm in St. Kitts representing for the Carnival Buzz on ZIZ TV. Trust me, it's gonna be crazy. So big up What Records. Boom.
Next on Carnival Buzz, we have the launch of Utopia's Juve Morning Troupe that's going to be on the road on the 26th of December for this Sugar Mass 51.
All right, it's about that time. Follow me. Tuesday morning, launch here. Let's shoot nothing up. Show me something for Tuesday morning. Fantastic. Fantastic. too fast. Just slow and sexy. You know? Warm up style. Rock your waist. Waistline, warm up. Waistline, warm up. Waistline, warm up. Waistline, warm up. Just like that. Warm up your hands. Just like that. Warm up your hands. Just like that. Utopia. 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 Every country turn up. Yeah. I never see so much I got in life. Utopia. Up on this station now. I never see so much I got in life. Slip fuck. Just like that. Just like that. I like it. I like it. What kind of girl? You see Utopia? You see Utopia? Lord have mercy. All the man them for Utopia now. Why see them never shoot them? You see them all the man say Utopia for children. It's always a
Alright, so Carnival Buzz journeyed across the waters to Queen City, Nevis for us to take part in the 5-in-1 fete. This is the biggest, most awesomest fete that happened in Nevis this year, and of course Carnival Buzz was there. Let's take a look at the highlights, okay? We want to see exactly what took place at 5-in-1 over in Nevis.
This is Sandy and Patrick watching Carnival Buzz on Port Zante.
This has been Carnival Buzz, and we are here at Cheers Bar, and we are having such an awesome time. What did we see today on Carnival Buzz?
I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering what's in your drink since you said we had an awesome time here at Cheers Bar. Ladies and gentlemen, Carnival Buzz. Of course, we took you to the Mass. We took you across the waters to Nevis. Look out for more. We'll be back. Same time, same place. Next week on Carnival Buzz, right here on ZIZ TV. See you then.
This is Carnival Buzz with ZIZ TV, episode number 3. Mr. Agaro, Clement, tell us what we have in store this episode.
We looked a little bit at the Mass for this upcoming event. For this
Coming Carnival.
For this upcoming episode. That's what I wanted to say.
Up next on Carnival Buzz, we have the launch of Utopia's Juve Morning Troupe, or presentation that is going to...
Troupe or presentation is fine. Either one. I don't have to say both. No, I want a rum punch. How about that? I want
An amaretto sour for me.
I don't know where this picture is going, but...